Greetings and welcome to Talk About It Wednesdays, a member-driven conversation on topics that matter most to our members. Our members asked how working women and families can build financial resilience and freedom, intentionally and realistically. So the topic for this episode is Wallet Wisdom, Money Moves for Working Women and Families. But before we begin, we want to set some ground rules for tonight's discussion. We are recording this event and it is being broadcast through Facebook Live on the UAW Women's Facebook page. We ask that participants be kind and respectful of this space. If you have a question related to tonight's topic, we encourage your participation, as the smartest person in the room is all of us. Please keep it brief and relevant, as our speaker is here for this purpose and our time is limited. Also, please limit your comments or questions to 1 minute to create an opportunity for others to participate. Here's how you'll share your questions. On Facebook Live, you can write a question in the comment section. You can also call in live because there will be space for a Q&A. We will open the line for listeners to call in with their live questions. The call-in number is 313-817-0551. Note that if you happen to have questions that we aren't able to answer, we will do our best to review them and provide feedback in the days following this event. We will display the number on the screen again when it's time for you to call in. It is our intention that this discussion will be beneficial for everyone. Tonight's episode will be moderated by UAW Women's Department and Region 1 Director LaShawn English, a powerhouse in the labor movement who has built her path from the ground up, tools in hand and purpose in heart. Director English began her union journey in the skilled trades, earning her journeyman's card as a steam fitter and licensed plumber through United Association Building Trades Local 370. Her commitment to craft, community, and collective power led her to UAW Local 1264 at the Stellantis Sterling Stamping Plant, where she broke barriers and built solidarity, serving in several roles from election committee to recording secretary to the Regional Women's Advisory Council, all leadership roles that led up to her being the first woman of color elected president of Local 1264, where she served 3 terms. Over the years, she's been a skilled trades delegate, national negotiator, and champion for women and workers across sectors. And in 2022, she made her story once again, becoming the first woman and first woman of color elected director of UAW Region 1. Director English is a leader who brings the grit of the trades, the heart of a fighter, and a vision for a stronger, more inclusive labor movement. And we are thrilled to welcome our special guest expert, Gail Perry Mason, a trailblazer in the world of financial literacy and a true community champion. From overcoming a childhood in foster care to becoming a best-selling author and financial authority, Gail's journey is nothing short of inspiring. Gail has authored 2 impactful books, Money Matters for Families, which sold out its first printing in its debut year, and Girl, Make Your Money Grow, a national bestseller featured on Oprah's Debt Diet. Her work has empowered countless individuals to take control of their financial futures. In addition to her success as an author, Gail has worked with major corporations like Chrysler, Ford, Wells Fargo, and CBS News, conducting financial literacy training and workshops. She's also dedicated to fostering the next generation of financial leaders, having mentored over 30 young women in the industry and created the Money Matters for Youth program, which has reached teens across the globe. Gail's accolades include being named one of Michigan's top 10 businesswomen, receiving the Invest in Others Lifetime Achievement Award, and being recognized as one of Crain's 100 Most Influential Women in Michigan.
Welcome to Talk About It Wednesday, and thank you for joining us for this episode. It's Wallet with Wisdom, Money Moves for Working Women and Working Families. We are so excited for sharing your expertise during this discussion with our members. So we have a couple questions here today, but first of all, I just want to thank you for showing up and thank you for coming.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on this wonderful Wednesday.
Yes.
Pearls of Wisdom Wednesday. That's why I wear my pearls. So we could, always
like that.
talk about pearls of wisdom and what all women need. Because pearls, we got to stick together.
Yes.
And
I thought about
a
wearing my
lot of
pearls
us are
today.
wounded. So that's how we stick together.
Stick together.
And,
Pearls of wisdom.
Pearls of wisdom. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Money, pearls
Money
of wisdom.
and pearls of wisdom.
There you go. Okay.
See, look at this.
Okay.
So we have like a little intro question, just for the record here.
Okay.
Can you start by telling us what inspired you on your journey into financial advising, and why financial freedom for working family is so important to you?
Okay, we don't even have enough time on this podcast to say what started me, but I will tell you, and I'm going to tell you.
Tell me.
So I got married, pregnant, and divorced all within my first year of college, and I was broke. And a brokerage firm called me, and because, I sent out my resumes back in the day, that's what we did, sent out resumes, nothing was online.
Yeah.
And a brokerage firm called me, I'm like, hey, I'm broke. Brokerage firm. I'm thinking it's God, like, hey, here I am.
Yeah.
So I ended up working at a brokerage firm as a receptionist.
Okay.
So people would come in the front door, but nobody looked like us.
Okay.
I mean, not a woman, nobody of color, no one.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, whoa, I got to teach people who look like me. When I said, first one lady came in, and she was younger, so it was one female only. And I'm thinking, I said, hey, girl, but she didn't look like us. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, how you doing? She said, I'm fine. I said, what money you got? She's like, I got $1 million. I'm like, $1 million? So my mentality at that time, age 20, 21, I said, I thought she caught a case, hit the number.
Right.
So that was,
lawsuit.
Lawsuit. That's what I mean. The case, I got, so I was like, no, that was, so I knew I was broke. So I was like, okay. And she said, well, I just got divorced. And I'm thinking, girl, me too. She said, it's my divorce settlement. I never want to work. I want to live off of this money. Okay. And I'm thinking overdraft protection was my line of credit. So I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. So when it came to, I was like, well, that's not financial freedom. So I ended up asking, could I become a secretary? And I literally started going to people's accounts, seeing what they own. I was a consumer. They were the owner. So I became a secretary. And then I said, can I become a financial advisor? And they're like, oh, no, no, you can't. So fast forward, I took somebody's books, copied them, and I passed the Series 7. Another woman in the office, a secretary, paid for me to take the test. I couldn't afford it. I was so broke that I definitely couldn't pay attention, but I had to pay attention to the Series 7. So anyway, fast forward, I took the test, and then I became a licensed secretary. And then I read about somebody in the industry, John Rogers, Melody Hobson, was this intern, and I put on a seminar for women and African Americans in the city of Detroit. And I said, I'm going to put on this seminar. They said, well, Gail, we're not paying for it. I literally had no money to put on this $250 seminar at St. Regis Hotel to buy cookies and water. But I'm going to tell you, I ended up being a cocktail waitress on the nights I didn't go to school.
Wow.
And I earned the dollars and tips. I went down to St. Regis Hotel, made it rain, dollar tips, pass it out. Anyway, so then I put on this seminar. But I learned how to write like press releases. I learned how to be in different newsletters. And I'm going to tell you, UAW was so instrumental. That's when I called somebody named Bob King back in the day, and I was calling people in Ypsilanti and here at Local 600, all these different, Ernie Lofton. It was like just amazing. And I said, can you bring your members out? That's how I met. That's how the UAW became like a family that actually supported me. And they came out and they ended up, so long story short, I worked the next day like, boom, here I got these, over 100 accounts. I said, Gail, we don't even want these little bitty accounts. I'm going to tell you, I started crying. They said, Gail, we're not going to invest in you, but we're going to just give you a chair with some rollers on it. You can try to make it. If you don't make it, I want you to roll right back over being a secretary. Do you know I ended up working with the UAW, doing this, and they asked me to come do seminars. Next thing I know, made my numbers, did everything. It was nothing but a blessing of union and coming together. So I got put in this job as a divine assignment. I would say with this opportunity. I won't say job. Job means just over broke. So I got put in this opportunity.
Say that again. Job mean what?
Job means just over broke.
You heard that, right?
Yeah, that's what that stands for. Because we can't get wealthy off our wages.
Right.
So I ended up learning. That's how I told people. I'm like, what's making money while you're sleeping at night? And this is what I actually learned from wealthy people. Success leaves clues. So as I'm working in this brokerage firm, being broke, I was like, oh, success leaves clues. Let me case the situation out, which means copy and steal everything. So it means I was like, I would actually study people. Like, this is what the wealthy people do. This is what they do. So I actually study, like, I need to teach people who look like me. I need to teach individuals, females. I need to teach them. So, because here I am, single mom, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to balance, not knowing so to answer your question, this was it was totally divine while I was in the industry. I was at school, I was in business school at night, but I really wanted to be a doctor one day, a therapist, all this other stuff. Fast forward, I'm a financial therapist, is what I call myself. As a financial therapist,
Right.
because, people come to me with their financial problems or financial things, but it still creates an opportunity. So I have to say it was more, it was God, it was divine assignment, it was just everything coming together for what I didn't plan, but it was the plans for my life.
Because I did read in your book something about your father. Was it your father that left the money to someone else and not your mother?
Yes. So yes.
Which
So
I was like,
so it was
it's
the
more-
first
it's more
father
of a-
that adopted me.
Yes.
So I was adopted a couple
Right.
of times.
Yes, people
my
remember.
name used to be Stephanie Rose Rick. My name used to be Gail Toomer, Toomer. Then I finally got adopted again at age 12. But the second father, ended up leaving, the funds to someone else, and because he didn't really want to adopt me. So it was a long story short. So I have never had a trust fund. I just got in God we trust.
Okay.
So no trust funds for me. So that was all I had. And now I see wealthy people have trust funds. And that's what they had. And I just didn't understand. So, a lot of it comes from my
Right.
upbringing. A lot of it comes from that. But anyway, questions, getting in the business, it was just something that
Because I just wondered,
That
because
I
as a
love.
kid, for him doing that, and I kind of read that, and then you say the divine. So the divine started at 12, pretty much. You just didn't know your journey was going to be
I
there.
didn't know my journey. We all don't know our journey.
I know, but
Girl,
I
look at
just-
you.
Right,
Look
that's
at your
true.
journey.
That's
Look
true.
at
Yes,
your
yes,
journey, where
yes,
you are. And if you look
yes.
at your journey,
But I need to be where your journey, because like you said, job. I love that definition. Job. Just above broke.
yes,
So,
just
yeah,
over broke.
so that
And you
means I gotta
don't
do
want
more.
to, right, we got to, we have to do things on our journey. And that's why we have to do different things. And with your journey, you lift others up.
Yes.
I mean, you reach this high, and the thing is, you definitely send the elevator back down
Yes.
to other people.
Yes.
And that's the only way we're going to have financial freedom is by giving poor. I always say not being poor. Poor means passed over opportunity repeatedly. And what you have done, and you're still young,
Right.
but you still give people opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
That's why when you call me this podcast, I'm like, I got to go. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. Yeah. So I'm so proud of you. So.
So I always talk about financial freedom. Me and you were kind of in sync when we did have our conversation here, building wealth, generation wealth. But here's one that says financial land. When it comes to our financial landscape, what financial roadblocks are most common for working women and families today? What is the biggest problem? What is the biggest problem? What is our roadblock? What's stopping us? Because a lot of people in the UAW and union members do make a lot of money. But our job just to be,
Just over broke.
Just over broke. But we need to get rid of that mindset. So what are some of our roadblocks that we have?
I think, first of all, fear. Fear and self-esteem. A lot of things. And the first thing, remember, when I was here speaking that one time, I was like, who in here shops on payday?
Yes.
I said that, and do you know how many people raise their hand? They're raising their hand, like everybody's like raising their hand. I shop on payday. And I'm like, that's the first thing. First of all, I think all of us need to put a GPS on our money.
Yes.
And our money should never be homeless. So we need to follow where our money goes. And I think we can't even figure out what our roadblock is until we actually follow wherever our money is going. So, I mean, if I follow, and I'm gonna tell you, because, we were talking about, weight loss journey and working out and all
Yes.
that stuff. I follow my money, girl. All my money went to food. And so my money, here I am, fat and broke. So I was like, I was just, and I don't believe in diets. Diets just means, did I eat today? So I didn't go on a diet. I had to change my whole lifestyle. I was eating my children's education, eating everything. I'm an emotional eater. Women have different habits. We have habits. Like, I was an emotional eater. I get stressed. I'm going to eat some salt. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. So, but I think the thing is, as women, we have to trust each other, trust other people, and say, you know what? I can't do this by myself. We have to learn how to give up that power to say, hey, I need an accountant to help me. I need to set up my own personal board of directors. I need a therapist. I need somebody to help me with physical. I need someone to help me. I need a banker. I need a credit union. I need, matter of fact, we were here and I met the best credit unions in the world. Lake Trust, oh my
Yes.
God, best one. So, but anyway, I'm just saying it because we have all these different, we need to put together our personal board of directors. But you know what women need to do? Mind their own business. So as women, and that's a roadblock. We don't mind our own business. We worried about what this person has, that person has, this, all this stuff. A lot of us, and I'm speaking French. We do this.
We do.
So my thing is, what we need to do as a people is like, look, let me just take a mind my own business hour. Take 1 hour and just mind your own business, and say, and once you put a GPS on your money, you're like, whoa, I don't pay too much in cable, food, make layoffs. I lay off food, I lay off fast food, I lay off going to the gas station, going there and getting anything, but I also laid off some cable channels. My kids came up from school one day talking about, Mom, this TV broke. I'm like, nope, Mom had to make some layoffs. So, but the thing is, we do have to see where our money's going. We have to have the strength to make layoffs in our life. Like, do I really need all these subscriptions on my phone? Do I really need all of these, the things that we do have? I've been using like Rocket Money on my phone. I don't know if anybody else uses Rocket Money, but every day they send me something. Gail, you spend too much money. This is how much you spent on food last week. This is how much you spent on this last week. So, but there's so many apps out here. We need to say, okay, this is where if you won't do it and follow it yourself, have somebody else do it for you.
Because I did read in your book, you say some of the roadblocks is finding out where your money go.
That's the main thing.
Main thing. Where is your money going?
Right. So we do have roadblocks, and then we have roadblocks as people pleasers.
Yes.
We spend with emotions. We spend with our heart. We got to stop spending with our heart. When it comes to, I've been looking at all these proms. It's prom season. Do you see how much people spending on prom?
I think it's ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you see it?
I just don't understand that. That's a college fund, and then you say why they're not going to college. But that's another story. There.
Well, that's another story. But
it's a roadblock, though. A priority is like.
But the priority is like, okay, here you are. All of this show for social media. You showing like I spent this much money on dress that you can't wear again on Instagram. You spent all this money on dress, shoes, red bottoms.
I can't really just say it's that because when I was younger, we did the same thing, and probably you did too.
No.
And I don't know. I was graduating. When I graduated, we didn't have Instagram. We had social media then. But I'm gonna tell you, I just think as a culture itself, and when you said mind my business and my own business, the problem is that everybody wants to be the Jones. And I even think then, and I think maybe social media actually just exposed it more, but it's always been a problem.
And you're absolutely right with that.
Because they were always overspending. It's like a time to go get this dress. And
do you know I wore, girl, ended up going to 5 proms. Do you know I wore the same dress?
Oh my God, you're lucky.
So, but in my debutante ball dress, I was in a debutante ball. It was one, like not the high one, but anyway, I was in a debutante ball. My debutante ball dress, I ended up loaning it out to all my friends. It was my homecoming dress, my debutante ball dress. And girl, when I had to get married, when I was pregnant, I had to get married. So girls, my wedding dress. So I use it. Debutante ball, homecoming, and wedding dress, same dress. Oh wow! So I don't wear that dress has been worn. Yes. But no, I have always done that. Now, heck, I use Rent the Runway.
Okay.
I need something.
Really?
Because I wear my uniform every day, black and pearls, and I need if I need a red dress like this, great, Rent the Runway. I actually rent it. $20, $25. Yeah. No, really.
That's cheap. That's cheap.
You can rent red bottoms. You can rent red bottoms. You can rent purses. You can do whatever. It's just like, yeah. So I literally have never bought a designer purse in my entire life. I literally have never purchased red bottoms. Literally have when they make orthopedic red bottoms, I might one day. But anyway, but right now, I'm not doing it. But the thing is,
because they do hurt. That's crazy. People pay.
Oh, girl, you got some?
No, I don't. But I just know my niece did.
Okay,
and then she told me they hurt. I was saying, you can pay how much for that?
Right, but my thing, they hurt, and you're gonna pay all this money for it, and they're gonna put your budget in the red.
Yes.
They're gonna give you corns, bunions, and turn around. And you broke.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, me and you just talking here, and I just don't understand why we, I think we need to think differently, but it comes to our mindset. And everything comes from what's your mindset. And then I think we have to set our goals over to become financially free. We have to set our goals. Like, do I need these red bottoms? Or do I need, my goal is to, go on this vacation. Don't deprive yourself. I never call it a budget. I call it a spending plan. So I think we need to actually figure out, like, what are our goals? People want a vacation. People want to do different things.
But don't you think most people are scared of budget? Because even when I was looking at your book, you had a guy and a girl who was getting married, and most people don't budget for weddings, right? And he didn't until he can pay for that ring and to pay for the wedding. So I think that's some of the roadblocks too, because people are scared to actually make a budget. I think it's just they don't want to know they're broke.
And I think and I even wrote in the book, it's a spending plan.
Right.
Not a budget. I never use a B word.
Correct.
And I did say that. So I think what we need to do is actually get together, like, okay, it's a spending plan. And it's okay to go over your spending plan. It's okay to, give yourself grace. We have to give ourselves grace every day. But another thing, we got to just figure out, okay, if I don't make enough money, I got to figure out what's making money while I'm asleep and try to find out other creative ways to do things than just exchange dollars for hours.
Right.
We cannot get wealthy off our wages. We cannot do that. We just got to figure out a way. And that's when success leaves clues. And I think every person that's broke, you all work around a lot of wealthy people. You got those skilled trades, you got this, you got that. Those people, they make a ton of money and they save. I ended up, I'll never forget, I talked to some skilled trades back in the day, I'll never forget, at one of the Chrysler plants off of right out here somewhere, Van Dyke.
Van Dyke.
And I was like, oh my God. They are so wealthy, and it's like you would never know it coming in and out of the plant. And I'll never forget just talking to them about, they said, oh no, while I'm here, I'm investing my money. I'm making money while I'm asleep. I'm making money while I'm here. This is what I'm doing. I'm like, wow. So I learn from every single person. And you learn people who broke. You look at, people who broke, it's like, okay, everything you have on, I can't say it's, if it's not an asset, if it's on your,
Right.
Yeah, it's not an asset. So, right.
Yes.
So it's like, you might as well say, it's not, so we got to see what is an asset and stop spending our money on things that are not going to appreciate.
Right.
You may appreciate it for that immediate gratification, but it's not going to appreciate in any kind of value. What kind of value will it have? People in helicopters going to prom. When you come down off the helicopter and spend all that money, it's gone.
It's gone. Can't get it back.
Cannot get it back. Cannot get that money back once you get down off the helicopter. Wow. So, or the whatever car you stand in front of.
I know. No, they need to go to that site, $25 and run, right?
I know, that's right. Yeah, I know.
Rent your prom dress for that day, $25. You hear that? $25 you can rent a prom dress.
It's like, so. Yeah,
Okay, well, so we kind of went, so some people struggle over using credit card over their debit card. So the question a lot of members, and I hear, why should I use my credit card and not my debit card? So what is your opinion of the difference between the two?
So you know what? Paying interest is not in your best interest.
Paying interest?
Receiving interest is in your best interest. So not paying interest, but receiving interest, and that's a good question. But if you get a 0% credit card, why not use it when you could do that? Also, then it builds your credit.
Right.
We got to do things to build our credit score. See if you can get it. But if you don't have enough money to pay it off, I'm like, don't put it on there.
Right.
Even though it's easier said than done.
Right.
Somebody say, somebody calls me emergency. Someone does that. Somebody does that.
But would you agree if someone put their bills and pay, if they're paying it on time, they're going to pay? Instead of using that debit card, and like you said, if it's 0% interest on the credit card, because I think that's a big question.
But that 0% only lasts for a little while.
Oh.
Then
if
after that, it's like,
before the deadline, what about that now?
Then that's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
But it takes discipline.
Yes.
And sometimes we're like, well, I got a little wiggle room. I got a little wiggle room.
You don't have a wiggle room with that credit card.
I know. And you know how sometimes we do stuff. It's just the way I was raised. I was raised by different sets of parents, but a lot of them were older when I was raised because I was in foster care. So, older, and they were like, we put a little something on this, a little something, something. Pay a little
Layaway. People don't know about layaways. Then.
Oh, my God.
I think they got the karma and all that other stuff there.
Yeah,
Back then
now
it was
that's the
layaway.
same way as layaway, but you
Yes.
got immediate gratification
Yes.
now. Oh, whoever came up with that
Yes.
is just a genius and a multi-millionaire or billionaire.
Yes.
Whoever came up with that layaway with interest.
Yes.
That you just buy, whether it's a firm, whatever the stuff, whatever we got to do, it's like, that's a layaway with interest.
Yes.
So, yeah, of course. So, we got to look at, different things like that. So, but it depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And I got to say this, with my disclaimer, everybody's situation is different.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's situation is the same.
Right.
But the only thing I wish that we all did was not put so much emphasis on, who's that by, what are we wearing, what, and I think just being conservative sometimes never goes out of style. Mm-hmm. And, I hate to say it, but people look at me all the time, well, I know what you're going to wear, Gail. I already know what you're going to wear. Yeah, I'm wearing, black and pearls.
Right.
That's what I can, that's it.
Yes.
But that is, I learned that from, I looked at Steve Jobs back in the day.
Yes, Bill Gates too.
Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, all of them. Not that I'm comparing myself to men that look like, but I'm just saying.
We're the same, yeah.
But I look at them like, oh, they are billionaires, and they got the same outfits.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, it's like, okay. So I saw a lot of people who were wealthy. I know they wear black, and I used to always wear pearls ever since I was a little girl. So I always, that's just like my signature. But I love it, and I give away pearls all the time. One thing I will spend money on, I go to estate sales, and I buy up all the pearls.
Oh,
and
wow.
I always give it out to people to say, hey, let me give you some pearls.
Your
You
first
need
set of
pearls
pearls.
on. Yep, need a set of pearls. And I think all women need a set of pearls. Men are starting to wear pearls now, too, which I think when I see a man in pearls, I'm like, oh, my God, they're so beautiful.
That's
So,
cute.
but that's one thing I always try to do that.
Okay.
Because you never met a poor giver. I know we're going to talk about giving later. So,
You say never met a poor giver. I like that.
right, yes.
So when it comes to our finance, we are always looking for tools and strategies. And what are some small steps someone can take right now if they're living paycheck to paycheck?
Girl, some people live paycheck to Monday. Paycheck to paycheck is wealthy right now.
Yeah.
So paycheck to paycheck, you good. It's like, if you can make it to the next payday without asking for a payday loan or not asking you, give me a little something, something, I get paid, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So if we could do that, that's a whole different, it's a whole different scenario. So, but what you need to do, like I said, first and foremost, set a spending plan. Mm-hmm. See where your money's going, because you can't, paycheck to paycheck is still stressful. Paycheck to Monday is even more stressful.
Yes.
So, first of all, try to have, you can't just live off your paycheck. Like, if that's it, and especially if it's like a mom, single mom with kids, it's like, it's too much. It's going to daycare, it's going to rent, it's going here, it's going to house note, it's going here, it's going to car note, it's going to car insurance, it's going to all these different things. So it's like, okay, what else can I do to create other avenues of income?
Right.
There are different, things out here that you could do to create other avenues of income, to do this, and how to get scholarships and how to. So I think Google has just been everybody's friend. Mm-hmm. So I would just actually just Google, and things will come up like Finance Buzz, the Penny Hoarder, all these different sites to say, hey, you want to eat and get paid? You want to do this and get paid? So, but I will tell everybody who's living paycheck to paycheck to actually go to a place like, like a Green Path, or there's so many resources out here that are nonprofit, they're absolutely free, that they could go to. Look for resources to say, hey, I can't do this budget, I can't do it. Can you help me? What can I do? Can I consolidate? Can I do this? Can I do that? Even though it's not what I do for a living, it's what I talk about for a life. But another thing, put together your board of directors and say, hey, they don't have to know they're on your board of directors. It doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
Say, hey, I need this organization on my board. I need Accounting Aid Society, another great organization right here in the Michigan area. Green Path, another great organization. And then also look at different websites that will help you actually budget. And there's so many budgeting sites. Then after that, then say, okay, I'm putting them on my board of directors. This is what I can do. Then get an accountant. Just talk to an accountant. Everybody has an accountant in their family, a lawyer, someone. Talk to them. Hey, how can I get rid of this bill? What can I do to bring up my credit score? Get a credit specialist. There's people out here that do. If there's a problem, there's a solution. I promise you. So living paycheck to paycheck, there's different things that we can do, but then you have to figure out, hey, I'm $200 short a month. I'm $1,000 short a month. This is how I'm going to create this, or make layoffs to create that amount in my budget. But this is how I'm going to create this money.
That's one of the things that I do enjoy. You always talk about layoffs. You
girl, you gotta lay off.
You gotta
Yes.
tell everyone what you mean when you talk about layoffs.
I
Because
know.
I think some of the reason of paycheck to paycheck is they may have to lay off some people too,
And
right?
people are, and I was going to
And
say
you
that,
say it
but
all
people,
the time. I
So
hear-
mom always means, because we are all moms.
Yes.
Moms mean made of money. That's what they think.
Yes. Yes.
So, and that's the one thing, and we are so caught up into getting things that starts with an I. iPhone, iPad, everything. I don't buy it.
Right.
So, because in my household, I'm like, I'm not buying that. Starts with an I. It's an I, that means you buy it. So we got to actually we got to teach our children discipline. So I run my money camp, try to teach all of them discipline. I make them take a pillowcase and like, what's making money while you're sleeping at night? What do you have to do? They have to draw. I'm gonna, these are my dreams, and this is what I'm gonna do to make money while I'm sleeping at night. So all the kids, they always find out different ways to make,
Make
money.
money. Yes.
Yes.
Because sometimes, like you say, you gotta lay them kids off too,
The
right?
kids are the main reason we're broke. We raise a culture of impatience, and they're the ones who cause this recession. I tell them all the time, this is your fault. We leaving this. You all make prices go up. You all spend,
Right.
they spend so much money. And then, and then the worst thing in the world, where I think our budget should never go, everybody just wants everything right away. Uber Eats, and people will order a milkshake.
Yes.
That is crazy.
I know.
I have never ordered Uber Eats or DoorDash in my entire life.
Wow.
Ever. Ever. I have never ordered. But I think it's just such a waste of,
That's true. It is.
it's just such a waste. But I mean, I'm not judging anyone.
But
for
it's still, if you're using that service,
Yeah.
again, it's something you should look at because you're talking paycheck to paycheck.
Right,
These
paycheck
are
to
things
paycheck.
that
And then
you're
you got
spending
Uber Eats.
extra money. Well, you can just walk and go because again,
Right.
we are talking about our health too, like you said.
Talking about health. I mean,
and
you know.
money together. If you got just go
Right.
walk and get that shake, then you get well deserved on that shake, right?
I know. And it's like, that's why that's why I'm trying to work on
Trying to work-
trying to work on a new book, trying to get, everything together in my life. But I'm trying to work on this book called From a Full Figure Woman to a Seven Figure Woman,
Right.
A Woman's Guide to Shifting Her Assets. Because the worst thing in the world is to be fat and broke.
Yes, it is.
And way more than your credit score. Girl, you can't buy nothing. You mad, everything, all that. So I'm like, I can't do that. So, so I mean, we got to be more mindful
Yes.
of where our money's going. And a lot of our money does go to food.
Yes.
And I mean, I did the same thing. I looked at my kids.
I think a lot
Mm-hmm.
is, there's a couple of things that you have said, though. A lot of it is stress, so you do have to
Oh,
work
yeah.
with your health. I think when living a paycheck to paycheck, because you don't want to deal with the money issue yourself at the
Yeah.
end, and you don't want to lay off the people who are taking it, and then you're looking for something to make yourself happy at the same time. So all of that are roadblocks as you started in the beginning, and it's like, we really gotta mind our own business, and while we're minding our own business, we need to focus on what's really costing us to spend money, to buy the unnecessary things, the Gucci purchase, the Louis Vuitton purchase, the expensive shoes,
Yes.
all that. Those are some of the things, like you said, it's hard, but until you know where your money going and what you're doing, and you ain't making no more money, you need to learn where your money going that you do have.
That's right. And we need to save for it. Our parents used to say back in the day,
That's-
for a
yes.
rainy day. But, it's an emergency fund. Vacation's not an
Because
emergency.
that's our next
though.
question. Because most of our members now are asking. See, we don't have a traditional pension. So the company
Right.
has a 401k. So because often they want to borrow from it, and is this a good idea? Do you borrow from it and then how do you utilize the 401k program? So do you have any questions on that?
I think first and foremost. So of course, that's what I do for
Yes.
a living. I can't give investment advice
Correct.
or anything like that. But what I can say, you can't afford not to do it. You cannot afford not to do it because you all match.
Yes.
You all match. That's like you know.
'Cause so many
I
people
give
will
you
not
a
put into
dollar.
this. They
I
will
give
not
you a
put in.
dollar, and then somebody else gonna match that dollar.
Yeah.
Girl, please.
But
you
some-
double your money just like that.
But
so
some
no.
of our members don't do it. We have a lot of people who don't understand because they're
no.
asking about a traditional pension, but a lot of our members do not understand the whole concept of the
No,
401k
that
and
I
the
know.
different. Yes.
Pensions are like history now.
Really?
I mean, a lot of people don't have pensions. I mean,
Okay.
we
Would
don't.
you suggest you have both a 401 if you had a pension or both?
Yeah, you need both.
Okay.
You need
But we don't
both.
have pensions. Some of us do, some of us don't.
Yeah,
So,
but yeah, you definitely need both, but you can't afford not to invest
Mm-hmm.
with whoever your employer is. So if they match or if they don't match, you still get everything from, tax deductions, you still get everything from, sometimes matching, which is great, which is just an added bonus,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pre-tax dollars. So it helps with your income, lower your income, and then you put a do not disturb sign on it. That is not money just to say, oh, I'm going to take a vacation, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this. So that's what we have. We have to do that. So,
Okay.
yeah, but you can't afford not to.
can't.
So I encourage everybody, go ahead, research it. In every place where you can invest with your 401k, they have people to talk to. Put them on your board. Your 401k should be on your board of directors.
No, board of directors.
Yes.
Okay. We heard you say mine over money and money over mine. And this lead me to the connection between our money and our mindset. So how can women, because you kind of talked about it, shift mindset around money, especially being told to feel shame around debt? So when people put that debt around, the shame around the debt.
So the main thing is, we do something for 21 days. It changes a habit.
Okay.
So whether, and this is one way I ended up starting to do it. I put a jar, I made deposits in it every single day. Quarters, dollar bills, whatever, made for 21 days straight. You make more deposits than withdrawals, you're never in the negative. So you could put, and we just throw away change, just take out the bottom of your
Yes.
purse. Put it together, and then say, oh, I saved $30 this week. I saved $40 this week. Take that money, pay off the debt.
Okay.
You could do different things and put away that card and then try to, find out ways. I mean, this is not what I do for a living, but I'll put my disclaimer out there. But find debt consolidations. If you're ashamed, talk to someone who does it. The person don't know you on the other line.
Okay.
The person don't know you online. They don't know who you are.
Right.
They're not going to judge you. They're in business to help you. So no, don't be ashamed to talk to people. Even though it's not what I do, but I tell people all the time, do not be ashamed to talk to someone, because it's just like talking to someone about marital problems, this problem, that problem, whatever. People don't like to do that either, but just to actually, we all have problems that we, first of all, I always say pray.
Yes.
Yeah, pray first, get off your knees and do something. God puts power behind your efforts. You gotta make the effort first. I think the best financial book really is the Bible. To be, please buy my book, Girl, Make Your Money Grow. But I'm gonna tell you, the best book is really, if we really follow the guidelines, that is the best money book. Everybody should read the different things in moderation. Whether it's tithing, debt, doing everything but tithing. We look at different things. It's like, you look at it, it's like, okay, we have to be more disciplined about ourselves and give yourself grace. Don't be embarrassed. We all messed up. Heck, we messed up last week, this week, whatever. So it's just give yourself some grace. And, because I definitely know, I have, and I messed up, helping other people out. Yes.
Yeah. So you did say something. I want to. So most people don't shop with money now,
I
And
know.
so you said put a little money in. I tried that Acorn or different things. So to round it up, dollars and stuff like that.
Yes.
Is that a good thing to do?
And of course, I can't say
invest- I mean,
I can't say it. My disclaimer with my license and stuff. I can't say.
things
but
of that nature,
I
I
think
should say.
savings programs are amazing.
Okay, because most people now don't have cash on them
I
anymore.
can't say, but do this,
Right.
but savings programs are amazing.
Yes.
But savings programs are good. So do round up. It was like, do round up all the time.
Yes.
That will help you because you don't miss it.
Right.
You don't miss it. And even what I'm saying with change, take that to Coinstar, wherever you're going to take it, and then say, okay, I'm using this money to pay on this credit card.
Right.
You'll get the cash or
Right.
do whatever, or I'll take this from my budget and do it, and then I have extra money for this or for that. So, we have to know how to balance it all.
Correct. So I just want to make sure.
No.
We have a live caller? Okay, we have a live call. We're going
Okay.
to go to a live call.
All right.
Go
okay.
ahead. Oh, you can start calling in now. Please call in.
Okay, we're gonna take calls.
Yes,
okay?
we're about to take some
Look
calls.
at you. Okay.
Okay, well, we're going to, so yes, let's
Okay,
get
okay,
these
we're gonna
live
sip. We're gonna do a little sip, sip, sip. Okay.
To our live caller.
I like your shoes though,
Oh, thank you.
because they're square-toed.
Yeah,
It's even better.
like I said, I only get stuff that's a discount.
I know that's right.
And they comfortable.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, caller.
I have a member question, and the question is: this year, this is from member Crystal Scott. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, look, we got live calls.
The question is from member Crystal Scott. This year, she was extremely frustrated because she didn't qualify for any tax reductions, reducing tax liability. What tax deductions or credits should she be aware of to lower her taxable income?
So that's a great question, first and foremost. So with lowering your taxable income, number one, charity.
Yeah.
Which I mean, and I can't give out tax advice. So let me put my disclaimer out there on
Yes,
tax
please
advice.
do.
Cannot give out tax advice. But having an accountant, the tax laws change all the time. But there's different things. I do something, and this is something I do personally. I do something called Take Back Tuesday. Every Tuesday, I take back to either Amazon or whatever. But I actually go to Salvation Army on 4th Street. They know me there, and I actually take things. I purge all the time, and I get a receipt every time I go. There's so many different things we can do to have like different, and that's like, with the tax deduction, with that, even, my mileage, all this stuff. I talk to my accountant. So I get all my information from, my accountant who actually knows how to, you can take this off, you can take this off, you can take, but for me personally, because I can say that, I actually, whether it's charity, whether it's giving things back, but another thing is, make sure you invest in your retirement account, to Crystal, to the caller. So make sure you invest in your retirement account. Make sure you do things to give, and also, itemize different things. Itemize your mileage, itemize different things. I do itemize, like, I went to work, came out here, I itemize miles, coming here. So it's just like different things. They have little things that can actually track where your spending is going. And if you really know, it's not all your checking accounts and everything, your debit cards and stuff. Sometimes they ask, is this a tax deduction? Is this a taxable event? Whether you go out and eat, if you go out and eat for business.
Right.
And another thing too, just setting up, you can set up other retirement accounts. Talk to your financial advisor, see if a Roth is good for you, if an IRA is good for you. Just talk to a financial advisor. Definitely just talk to someone. So I can't say, because I don't know the whole situation, so I can't say it, but this is why your board of directors is so important. So but that was a great question.
Great question. Thank you, Crystal.
Definitely. Thank you, Crystal.
Do we have another question, caller?
Caller, you're on the
This-
line.
Hello?
Yes.
You have another question, caller?
How does charitable giving impact my tax situation?
So charitable giving actually impacts it more so than a lot of different things. So, but that's why the accountant can tell you how much you can give, how much is tax deductible, but that's why I end up keeping receipts on everything. So I can't say enough, keep the receipts and give. And I always say, like I said here on the show, you never met a poor giver, but every time you give, just always keep the receipts, keep track of everything. And then, like now with our phones, they got files. You can put receipts in, different files. We can do that. So kind of like just staying organized is half the battle. This is why we need a mind your own business day, but actually charitable giving is always, it feels good. And you can get it right off your taxes. It's not bad.
So that's like your
According to
board
the
of
thing.
directors, though. It's crazy because some people might
Yeah.
think that you keep saying putting these people on your board, and
Yeah.
some people all they think about is their tax preparer, and you're not saying you need that, you need an accountant, you need a lawyer. So I think people
Yeah.
don't understand. It's like I'm just going to take these receipts into my tax preparer, but you need accountants too.
Yeah, your
correct?
accountant. But also, and without even paying them,
Right.
you could just actually, call up a tax firm.
See?
You could call up and say, hey, do you have a list? Do you have something you send out to a newsletter to your, clients? Do you have this? People will send it out to you and say, these are some reasons. And oh my God, there's so many sites online. There's so many of them.
So what do you think about Chat GPT or AI or something? Would you go on there and ask them? They probably can pick some for you, huh?
Oh yeah, they will too. I mean, shoot, that's some people's
That's
best.
what I- right.
That's some people's best friend now.
Yes.
Like, okay, let me go
Yes.
ask this question. Siri was my
Right.
girl.
Yes.
It's like, okay, so hey
Yes.
Siri, what's this, what's that?
Because I think
Yeah.
people don't. When you keep saying the board, you got. Sometimes I think they.
Yeah, you can put them on your board too.
They should be on your board
Yeah,
too,
man,
but I
put
just
them
want
on
to
your
make
board.
sure that our membership, they know that when you're saying, these are what we're talking about, getting these people on your board so you can get these questions specifically to your issue and what your thing is.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Yes. So, Carla, we have another question? You don't have one? Okay, thank you. So I did have a question. We have a question from Tracy Chu, and her plant is actually the ability of closing down.
Oh, no.
And and they're doing like a closing agreement for their. And she was like, "What would be advice to someone who's about to lose their job, and what would be some of the money advice that you would give someone that's just who's maybe waiting until it's time to go get another job, or how would what are some of the things you would do to stay? Yeah.
You got to regroup.
Yes.
I mean, you got to regroup, rebalance, see what resources are there. Because just when a lot of places close, some of them have resources, some of them don't. But a lot of places, like a plant, they'll say, okay, you can go this resource, this resource, this resource. What's going to be my severance? Talk to an attorney. What do you think about my severance agreement? What do you think of it? That's why you need your board of directors. Then you could probably think like, okay, what should I really be doing in life? Am I going to start my business now? Am I going to go, do I need benefits? How long will I keep my benefits? So how can I do this? I mean, are you married? Does your husband have benefits? Your wife have benefits? Make sure, how can I get on their benefits? And then I could do something else, during my own time, I could do this. So there's so many different ways we could regroup. But I think it's a way to retool, and I call it retooling. We can retool in life. Like, okay,
Right.
let me see. Because, I mean, a lot of people have lost jobs before. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. This was divine that I lost this job.
Right.
If I would have stayed here, this would have happened. Let me see what I really want to do. And then start. The one thing I will say, networking, relationships are everything. Start talking to people. Start talking to people at different places and they might say, hey, would you mind coming on, being a consultant for me? Would you mind coming on? And then take classes. There is nothing wrong in taking classes. Like, I will take a class in a heartbeat, whether it's a workout class or whether I went to Tech Town before and took this retail boot camp class to learn how to start a retail company.
Right.
So I take classes that are free, classes that are I think my biggest room in my home is room for improvement. So I think we all need room for improvement, but we also need to take classes and say, maybe I could do this. My mother, who adopted me when she was 55, and then so she was older. So I was in high school. She had retired from the government, got a pension, how we do pension. I said, so what does that mean? You retired? I didn't know. What does it mean you're not working?
Right.
And I found out eventually I'm half Jamaican. That's why I'm like, I got 10 jobs,
Right.
So I'm like, so here I am. I said, oh my God, and I was thinking to myself, my mother is lazy. She's gonna sit up here and you're not gonna do nothing?
Right.
I said, Mom, I found this little newsletter to go to Mary Grove College. I said, I work at McDonald's. I'm gonna pay for you to take this class and start your own flower decorating class. Grandmother died with that flower decorating business. I made her start her own business. I made her do whole thing, and she ended up having that flower business. But she loved decorating flowers, and she made money there every week. People were ordering flowers.
Wow.
But she had a gift. But I knew, but it was just kind of like, what you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah, I'm always, and I think that's probably the Jamaican blood in me. I'm like, well, okay. What you gonna do? Yeah, you only got one job.
Right.
Like, that's it. Because you got a job.
Right.
Then you got a podcast. And you got
Right.
this. You gotta go speak. You gotta go do this. You gotta just show up here.
Right.
I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah,
So that
sure. A lot of
I know,
jobs.
right?
Yes.
You got a lot of jobs too.
Yes.
It's like we're not lazy.
No.
Right. I know.
Right.
So it's just like, and not that that's being lazy at one job. I'm not saying that. But for me, I didn't want my mother being home and just,
Yeah.
sitting there. I just didn't. It just
It
didn't
didn't register.
It did not register in my mind. I was like, wait a minute,
now
hold
you can
up.
probably look at it different. Like, man, I can
Yeah,
rest.
now I look at it. Yeah,
Now you're like,
wait
I
a
should
minute,
let her rest.
Oh, no. So I got my retirement plans ready.
See?
So let me tell you what I'm gonna do. And I don't want none of everybody on this podcast. Listen, don't take my job from me. So I really want to I want to write books.
Okay.
I want to run my money camp, and then on my off time for my benefits, because my job does not carry on benefits.
Oh.
Yeah, once I retire, I have no benefits.
So most people don't realize that either.
Yeah,
that's
they-
a great benefit that we have had with the
Girl,
UAW. We're working to try to get it back for some of our newer ones that just came in.
You have to get it back.
Yes.
So I hope you get it back. But I'll come work for UAW for that. But anyway, I ended up, I want to work Costco. Costco has
yes.
benefits for part-time employees. So I already talked to the manager here, there, all grass shit. I know all the managers. I know everybody in the store. So I'm just like, because when I retire, I just want to write books, do this. And I actually want to just like wear a red vest then, my black red vest. And I just want to be the greeter at Costco. Like, hey,
Scan
no
your card.
stress.
Scan your card. Scan your card.
Before you just cut, and then actually
Or
give them
check
back.
the receipt. You
Or
got
take
one
the
or the other.
receipt. I know. I could do that. And then I could actually, eat at the buffet, because they always got food out.
Yes.
Eat at the buffet. I ain't got to worry about paying for no food. Prescriptions,
Yes.
you get a discount.
Yes.
They pay you,
So you
minimum.
already served this out, right?
I mean, minimum
You're right.
$30 an hour. So you can I put all my money in the, in the pension plan.
Right.
In the 401k plan. Don't take a check and just sit there and just, okay, I got money going in here. It's working for me. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I could just, and there's no stress.
Right.
Giving somebody a basket or giving somebody check them in. Hey, I love to talk to people. So I'll be like, hey, how you doing? And that's it. That's good. And they ask me where the pickles. I can't wait. I really want to learn how to shake my head. Now, that is not my job.
Oh my
Like,
God, you're already prepared for
I'm
the
already prepared. Like,
retirement.
that is not my job. Like, don't be asking me nothing else. So I got my wave down. But people are going to probably say, oh my God, Gail has gone down. When you see me at Costco, like, I have arrived. When you see me at Costco, I'm straight. Because no stress.
Right.
I got pictures of grandkids. I can get pictures of grandkids, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, got
They got,
everything.
Costco, you get a good trip at Costco if you use a Costco.
rental
plan.
car,
Yeah.
trip, travel.
Yes.
They got everything from the basket to the
Yes.
casket. Everything.
We got any
Everything.
other questions on there?
Oh, okay. Oh no, we just been talking. I know. I know. Girl, you gonna meet me there? Okay.
Huh? Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Listen. Look, she got me on point. Look, I kind of.
I'm sorry. I hope I can get you off.
No.
Okay.
Look. So, because we're
Okay.
past the questions.
Okay.
So let me find a survey. So please take our survey because we really need to know what do you want to know on Talk About It Wednesdays, so we can receive feedbacks on how we can improve this show. Trust me, please do. Please do not do the survey. The surveys are always help us identify the topics that matter the most to you. The membership. And if you are on Facebook, we want you to drop in the chat, or if you can, scan the QR code. We are grateful for the work that you do with educating you and receive tonight. I didn't say that right there, so I don't know why that sounded like that. So I'm going to repeat that because I don't know, I got a little off topic. We are very grateful for the work that you will do with the education that you received tonight. And thank you to our membership. And have a wonderful night. Thank you.